dear students, welcome to the class of Social Science. In today's class, let us continue the chapter The Union Government. In last class, we discussed about the Parliament and the two houses of Parliament and how the procedure we are following in our country to select the members of both houses of the Parliament and what are the qualifications required to become a member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha we discussed in detail. In today's class, let us learn about the Lok Sabha Speaker, how the Lok Sabha Speaker will get elected. Okay, the selection procedure of the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Dear students, the member of Lok Sabha elect one among themselves as a Speaker of Lok Sabha and they will choose one among themselves as a Deputy Speaker. Okay, Speaker and Deputy Speaker they will choose among themselves. Okay, and Speaker, his role is very important one. Listen to me carefully. Speaker role is very important one and he is the responsible person. He should do all the proceedings of Lok Sabha impartially. Okay, without any discrimination. He should conduct the proceedings of the House. I mean Lok Sabha. Okay, he should conduct all the proceedings impartially of the Lok Sabha House. Next, he should maintain dignity of the House. Okay, Speaker means he is a dignified person. He should maintain that dignity, okay, of that Lok Sabha House. Right? He should not disturb the dignity of the Lok Sabha House. That is the one more important point you have to know about the responsibility of the Lok Sabha Speaker. Okay, and Speaker gives ruling whenever questions asked about the validity of the proceedings. Okay, Speaker gives ruling. Okay, wherever questions asked about the validity of the proceedings. Okay, that is the important point you have to know. And along with that, according to the protocol, all including Prime Minister are expected to respect the Speaker of Lok Sabha House, right? That is a dignified position. So, including Prime Minister, right? Cabinet ministers and other ministers and opposition party leaders, everyone should respect the Speaker. Okay, that is the rule under protocol, right? And all the bills gets equal majority. In such case, if any bill gets equal majority in both the houses of the Parliament, I mean Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, equal majority got by a bill, during that time votes of the Speaker is act as a deciding vote. Speaker also has a voting right. Okay, he can do voting for of that bill or he can also do voting against the bill. Okay, if the bill gets equal voting or equal number of votes, during that time Speaker will cast a deciding vote that will decide about the bill whether it will become law or not. Right? Next, Deputy Speaker, his role is should conduct the proceedings in the absence of Speaker. Okay, if the Speaker is absent or if the Speaker is absent, in his absence, Deputy Speaker has right to conduct the proceedings of the Parliament House. Okay, that is the important point. You should know that. Okay, next we should go about rule and work of the opposition leader. Okay, role and work of the opposition leader. In a democracy, as like a ruling party, opposition party is very important one, dear students. Okay, to make active the ruling party leaders and members, opposition party plays a prominent role. Okay, opposition party members and leaders, they will always try to catch the mistakes of the ruling party. Then only they will alert. Okay, because of the opposition party, ruling party leaders, ministers and members, they will always keep themselves alert. Okay, so the role and the work of the opposition party. Here, role and the work of the opposition party leader. Okay, here mainly highlighting the wrongdoings of the ruling government. Okay, the main role is highlighting wrongdoings of the ruling party. Okay, whatever wrong things done by the ruling party, that will be highlighted by the opposition party leader. Okay, that is the one important role. Okay, next, examine the policies of the government thoroughly. Okay, examine the policies which implemented by the government thoroughly. Okay, examine the policies of the government thoroughly, right? And the next role or work of the opposition party leader is keep government council of ministers and officials alert, as I told earlier. Okay, opposition party leaders, one more role or work is keep the government council of ministers and officials alert. Keep council of ministers and officials alert. Okay, by the opposition party leader, it is possible to keep the council of ministers and officials alert. Okay, that is the major role. And one more role or work of the opposition party leader is has a respectable position in the legislature. Okay, opposition party leader has a respectable position in the legislature. Okay, there is a respectable position for opposition party leader in the legislature or in the house. Okay, these are the major points comes under the role and work of the opposition party leader. Next, after this, we have to move to the one more important concept, that is powers and functions of the parliament. Most important concept from the point of examination, powers and functions of the parliament. Parliament has more power and should perform various functions. Okay, now we have to discuss that powers and functions of the parliament one by one in detail. First one is legislative power. Among the powers and functions of the parliament, first one is legislative powers. Under legislative powers, what work or what function parliament will perform? The main function of the parliament is to make laws. Okay, parliament's main work is to make law. Laws which are essential or required for our country. Okay, and it makes laws on the subjects mentioned in the central list. Parliament makes laws about the subjects mentioned in the central list. Okay, there are 3 lists of functions. One is central list, another one is state list, another one is concurrent list. Here Parliament has right to make laws on the subjects of the central list. Okay, only Parliament has right to make laws about that. Okay, and financial bill must be presented only in Lok Sabha, right? Financial bill only presented in Lok Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha has no right to introduce the financial bill. Only Lok Sabha has supreme authority to introduce financial bill first time in Lok Sabha. Okay, that is the important point. In matter of financial bill, Lok Sabha has more right than Rajya Sabha, but in matter of other bills, both the house have equal right. Okay, in other bills, in any house they can introduce the bill. Okay, other ordinary bills. Okay, but in financial bill matter, Lok Sabha only has supreme authority to introduce the bill. Right? That is the most important point you have to remember. And the bill become law after proper discussion and approval by both the houses. Okay, bill will introduce either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but the bill will become law after the proper discussion of both the houses of the parliament. Both the houses of parliament means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, next, if any disagreement is there in between both the houses regarding a bill, during that time President has right to call. President may call joint session of the parliament and resolve the matter. Okay. In case of a disagreement, President may call joint session of the parliament and he will resolve the matter. Okay, what this agreement raised in between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members, that will be solved by President. Okay, only President has right to call the joint session of the parliament. Right, that is the important point you have to know. Next, after both the houses approval, right, regarding a bill, if both the houses are ready to give approval, then it is that bill will be forwarded to President for his approval. Okay, after getting majority in both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that bill will be forwarded to President for his approval. Okay, and after which it become law. Then after the signature of the President only, or after the accent of the President only, the bill will become law. So if both the houses pass the bill, then President is not signed, means that bill will not become a law. Okay, so presidential signature is also most important one. Okay, right, that is the ultimate step to converting bill as a law. That is the important point you have to know. This is about legislative power of the parliament. Next, second power of parliament, that is administrative powers. Administrative powers of the parliament. What are the administrative powers parliament perform that we have discussed now? Okay, parliament of the government. Prime Minister and his council of ministers form the executive. Okay, in the parliamentary system of government, who will form the executive? Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers. Okay, Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers form the executive in the parliamentary system of government. The parliamentary system of government, Prime Minister and his council of ministers form the executive. Okay, executive will be formed by Prime Minister and his council of ministers, and union cabinet is accountable to parliament. The union cabinet is accountable to parliament. Okay, they are answerable to the parliament, right? Whatever questions raised by opposition party leaders or members with regards to the government policies, ruling party leaders, ministers should ready to give valid answer for their questions. Okay, so union cabinet is accountable to the parliament. Next, members of parliament ask questions. Members of parliament have right to ask questions freely regarding any matter. Okay, regarding any work of the government, and during that time, ministers must give valid answer for those questions. As I told earlier, ministers, responsible minister, concerned minister should give valid answer to that questions raised by the members of the parliament. Okay, next, council of ministers can be in power. Council of ministers under Prime Minister, they will continue as the ministers only as they enjoy trust of the parliament. Okay, till they enjoy the trust of the parliament, or as long as they enjoy the trust of the parliament, till then council of ministers will continue as the ministers. When they lose the trust of the parliament, immediately they will lose their ministry or power. Understood? That is also important point. And parliament has complete control over executive. Okay, parliament has complete control over the executive. So in matter of administrative issues, parliament has complete control over the executive. Okay, next, about the third power and functions of the parliament, that is financial powers. Financial powers. Okay, in matter of financial powers or in matter of financial bill, Lok Sabha has total control over the financial matters of the country. Lok Sabha has total control or full control over the financial matters of the country. Lok Sabha has total control over the financial matters of the country. Okay, and government can't levy and any tax or spend any money without the approval of the Lok Sabha. Okay, so Lok Sabha approval is very essential to levy any tax on people or to spend any money from the government treasury. Okay, so during that time approval of the Lok Sabha is very essential. So in matter of financial issues, Lok Sabha has more power in parliament. Next, financial bill must be first introduced in Lok Sabha. As I told earlier, financial bill, except other bills, financial bill introduced first time in Lok Sabha only. Okay, and after bill getting approval of the Lok Sabha, it will forwarded to Rajya Sabha for its approval. Okay, and after discussion, Rajya Sabha can give suggestion and also directions and also delay that bill. Okay, only for 14 days. Okay, not more than that. Before 14 days, either it should give approval. Who should give approval? Rajya Sabha member should give approval for that bill which was sent by the Lok Sabha. Either they have to give some suggestions or they have to give some directions to do the changes in that bill. Okay, but they have no right to cancel the bill. Okay, these all works they have to complete within 14 days. Even after within 14 days, if there is no answer from the Rajya Sabha, then Lok Sabha member will think that Rajya Sabha gave its approval and they will forward that financial bill to President for his approval. Okay, that is the procedure. So in matter of financial issues, Lok Sabha had more power and Parliament play major role in matter of financial issues. Okay, next, judicial powers of Parliament. Judicial powers. In matter of judiciary, Parliament houses, both the houses of the Parliament, I mean Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, has authority, equal authority to remove the judges of the Supreme Court. Both houses have authority to remove the judges of Supreme Court and also High Courts through a motion of impeachment. Through a procedure of impeachment. Okay, by following this procedure, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both houses have right to remove the judges from their position. Okay, that is the judicial power of the Parliament. Next, they also have the power to discuss the findings of reports related to the judiciary. Okay, they also have the power to discuss the findings of reports which are related to the judiciary. That is the one more point comes under judicial powers of the Parliament. Next, after judicial powers of the Parliament, next one is power to amend the Constitution. E. Power to amend the Constitution. Okay, power to amend the Constitution. Parliament has right to amend the Constitution. I mean both the houses of the Parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, has equal power to amend the Constitution or to bring changes to the Constitution. But one point is important, dear students. Remember that point. If they want to bring any changes to the Constitution, during that time 2/3 majority is very essential. Okay. And amendment bill can be first presented in either house of the Parliament, either presented in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. No matter. Okay, both houses have equal right to introduce the amendment bill of the constitution. Okay, next, however, approval of both houses are required for amendment. As I told earlier, approval, 2/3 majority is required in both the houses of the parliament to bring changes to our constitution. Okay, to amend the constitution, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha's majority is very essential. After getting majority only, they can amend the constitution. Okay, next, one house did not approve, then amendment cannot be carried out. Okay, among both houses, if one house is not ready to give approval or does not give approval for the amendment bill of the constitution, then the amendment cannot be possible. Okay, that is the most important point you have to remember. And in some case, approval of the state assembly is also essential. Okay, if the matter is applying for the whole nation, right, during that time, in such a case, if they want to bring changes to the constitution, then all the state assemblies approval also very essential. Okay, so that is the important point about power to amend the constitution. Okay, these are the points comes under the powers and functions of the parliament. Remaining powers and functions of the parliament we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.